So, as you know, Eric Bear here at the Roosevelt Hotel, my favorite place, one of my favorite places to be. And I'm here with two unlikely candidates to actually get along. And actually, I'm right in the middle of them. I'm not being eaten, but I'm using Deepwood's off. No, that's wrong commercial. But anyway, so this is a great white shark, and this is a, what do you call this? Yeah, a killer whale. And so killer whales go after the great white sharks. But I thought about, as they were in the pool, I thought, these two are getting along. Somehow they're not in each other. They're not plastic, they are real. And I thought, that's the way we should be as people. We should be able to get along just like these do, but in real life they really don't. But anyway, you understand the funny point, and I'll talk to you soon. In the spirit of Halloween that's coming up, and also the election, which are both scary, I put a scary house in the background. Actually, it's really not scary, but it kind of looks scary from here. And then the full moon in the background. So I can't think of anything more scary, possibly, than not exercising our right to vote. I was talking to a young lady who had never voted before, and she was asking me, different things, and I said, well, number one, I think you should be open. Keeping yourself open is a free spirit of free exercise. Being in one party, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Socialist, Communistic, whatever it is, limits your thoughts, because then you're being dictated by that party how you should vote. Couple of different illustrations of why I moved away from the Republican Party is I remember back in the, I think it was the 90s, and I actually was helping somebody get into office there, and real nice family guy, conservative, and he was going to be careful with our tax dollars and things like that, which I believe that he was for the most part. But one thing that irritated me really bad is that the Republicans, when they during that time period, had the ability to vote in term limitations for senators and House of Representative people. And they vowed on the Capitol steps that if they were elected, and each one of those people were elected, to the best of my knowledge, as far as maybe there were one or two that weren't the ones that, but all of those that were elected said that they would vote to have term limits for everybody. But then when they got in office and they got all those little bennies and everybody was buying them drinks, and those people, the lobbyist people, were like, oh, you could really have a future on this. You could really do this. You could do that. And all of a sudden they caved, and then they never got that vote through, and it's never been come up again. So that's one thing I'm angry about. I never forgot that the Republicans had done. And I think that was terrible. It's kind of like when baseball, which is my favorite sport, when they struck them one year, and then they didn't even play or close to it, something like that. And I was just like, I was totally stunned. I was like, really, are you really going to take this wonderful American sport and just totally ruin it for everybody on this strike? You could have worked that out. You guys were making a lot of money anyway. And so that's what I think. And that likened to that. And then the other thing that really has always bothered me about the Democratic Party was this Roe v. Wade thing. Can't you somehow, if you want to make it a nonprofit thing where people give to that, but I don't see where government money should be given to murdering babies. And then this partial birth abortion. Are you clinically insane? Partial birth abortion? I mean, how is that? And even the other things, I think that it's insane. People have a right to not get themselves in that position. And if they do, there's people that want to adopt. My daughter was being one of them. And murdering a baby is never right. There's always forgiveness with God. I'm not saying anything like that. From a moral standpoint, I believe that there's forgiveness and love, that's, and part of it is lays at the feet of the politicians that put this enacted this terrible thing, and and then people that are just untaught, they're young, and then they say, well, adults are encouraging us to do this, so I think it's okay, and then they don't have that proper moral structure that was taught, and it's just terrible. And and a baby to be without a dad and all this other stuff that goes along with that whole thing, it's just totally wrong. So, having ripped up the Republican Party first, then ripping up the Democratic Party, and plus all the major spending that has been done on both parties and things like this, and even moderates that get in there and say they're one way and conservative in their spending, but then they don't hold true to those things. It's my tax dollars, not your tax dollars. Like Ronald Reagan said, the government is not here to be served, but is here to serve the people. And I agree with that 110%. And so, based on those things, what I did was I became a no-party person. I am a registered no-party person here in California. And however I vote is none of your business, and I'm not going to get political on any of these things. But the important thing is that I vote on conscience and merit of how a person conducts their life, and that's how I think all of us should vote. And it should be, if a politician's making a bunch of money in office from their constituents or people that, lobbyists and all this other thing that flows there, that's just wrong. And why are you supporting somebody like that? I would never support somebody like that. It's just immoral. It's stealing. And it's stealing from us, the consumer. And so I think that no party is the best way to do, because again, the best way to go for voting is because Martin Luther said it should not be based on the conduct, it should be based on the content of your character and not on, race, religion, anything like that. That really is how it should be. And so that's how I did. Anyway, back to the young lady, that's what I said. Hey, she said, what should I do? And I said, just be no party. And just go with who you think is the person that best, whether it's male or female or whatever, that should be the best person as to how you believe and would suit you. That way you're not locked into a party and you're not in some type of, political cult, which I think if you're one way or the other, there's so many political cults out there. And when I went through my divorce, I broke away from all that stuff. I said, this is just not for me. And I throw it away. I throw it behind me and I forget about it and move forward. Like Les Brown said, throw it behind you. And so that's what I did. And I reanalyzed my whole thought process, and I'm a proud American that is no party. But I am conservative, and I will look and see if you're the right man or woman for the job. And with that, God bless you, and God bless America. Don't forget to vote, and don't forget to subscribe. Vote for me. Vote for me, Eric Baer. Thanks.